Hi guys, so this is the purple level video on adding and subtracting harder fractions, and we're going to look at some questions, some worded questions in context. Okay, I'm aware that some of you working at purple level may feel like you've kind of been doing the same thing for the last 3-4 lessons or so, but this is going to be the last adding and subtracting fractions lesson within this particular block, and I do want to make sure that I am extending you guys on to challenge yourselves really at that further level that I think that you need. Okay, so we're going to look at some worded questions here and some slightly different questions as well. Okay, so work through the examples as I'm doing them, please. So the first one is where we have three fractions here. Okay, so we've got 3/8 take away 1/6 take away 1/12, and that is our problem, and we need to work out what is the resultant fraction. Okay, so even if there's three fractions, it doesn't matter. The same fundamental rule applies, is that we need to get the denominators all to be the same in order to add or subtract. Now, you could just isolate the first two and deal with the eighths and the sixths and work that out, and then separately do the twelfths, but we want to be as efficient as possible. There will be a multiple that the three of these denominators will go into. We just need to figure out what it is. Okay, some of you may be able to work out already. We're looking for the lowest number that 8, 6 and 12 both go into. If you can't get that right away, then we're trying to find the lowest common multiple. We need to do our 8, 6 and 12 times table, see which number appears. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, right, that's enough of that. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. Oh, I've spotted one that matches. Let's see if this one does. 12, 24, there we go. 36, 48. So yes, we do get that there is a common multiple. Of course, there will always be one. The lowest one is here on this list, and it's 24. Okay, so we're going to change all of our fractions into 24ths. Now, I like to write the fractions with the new denominators there with the signs, just so I don't forget what signs they are, because you can sometimes forget when you get lost in all the multiplication. So we need to be thinking, what have I done to 8 to get to 24? Well, I've multiplied it by 3. You can actually use if you do write these at the side, you can actually use them to help you. So you can say 8 times 1, 8 times 2, 8 times 3. So I do the same to the top there, top and bottom. What did I do to 6? Well, you can go back to your multiples. 6 times 1, 2, 3, 6 times 4 is 24. And 12 times 1, 2. Okay, so it's actually quite helpful doing those little lists at the side when you get to this stage as well. So we get 3 times 3 is 9, minus 1 times 4 is 4, minus 1 times 2 is 2. Now we can combine them into one single fraction because they're all over 24, and it's 9 take away 4 take away 2. So 9 take away 4 is 5, 5 take away 2 is 3. We're not done because this can be simplified. 3 over 24 is in both of these numbers are in the 3 times table, so divide them by 3, 1 over 8. So we actually get left with 1/8. Okay, so if you have three fractions, get them to find that lowest common multiple of the three denominators, get them all to have the same in the bottom, and then do the add and subtract. Right, next example is a worded question, and it goes a little like this. So a bottle of Irn-Bru holds 7/8 of a litre. And the question asks, is there enough to give 1/4 of a litre to Joe, 1/3 of a litre to John, and leave 1/2 of a litre for later? Okay, so what we basically need to figure out is if we add together 1/4, 1/3, and 1/2, is that more or is it less than 7/8 of a litre? So this is an addition problem where we have to find out what is the total of 1/4 plus 1/3 plus that extra 1/2 for later. And then we're trying to work out, is this more or less than 7/8 of a litre? Okay, so first things first, lowest common multiple of 4, 3 and 2. Now you can do your list at the side, but you should be able to tell me that they can all go into 12 as the next nearest number that they all go into. So we can turn them all into 12 on the bottom. Alright, oh sorry, that's a plus. What have I done to 4 to get to 12? I've multiplied it by 3, so I need to do the same to the top. So it's 3 over 12. What have I done to 3? I've multiplied by 4, do the same in the top. What have I done to 2? I've times it by 6, do the same in the top. 3 plus 4 plus 6 over 12. So that's going to be 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 6 is 13. So 13 twelfths of a litre is what we have here. Now, it said in the question that a bottle of Irn-Bru holds 7/8 of a litre. Now 7/8 is most definitely less than 1 litre. Okay, 1 would be 8/8 in this case. So if our fraction has a value of less than basically any more than 1, then therefore there won't be enough. So if you look at 13 over 12, that is an improper fraction. That is 1 1/12 litre. Okay, now the bottle only holds 7/8 of a litre, so we're asked, is there enough to do all of these things, a quarter plus a third to John, and leave half a litre? Well, the total of that is 1.5 litres, and there only is 7/8 of a litre, which is less than 1. So we therefore need to state, therefore no, there is not enough, as we know that 1 1/12 is greater than 7/8. Okay, so you have to finish this question with a little statement like that, comparing the numbers together. Alright. Next example is just a little mixed numbers. So bringing in these mixed fractions. So to do the conversion first. Now I think we're all reasonably good at this, so I just wanted to do this one quickly. Always convert to top heavy first, then do the same process. So when I'm doing a conversion, I like to write down the denominators as the same, just to remind myself that those numbers never change, because when you're starting out it's easy to forget that they stay the same. What is the numerators? 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2 is 7. 5 halves take away 7 fifths. Right, now we need to get denominators to match and then go through our process. Lowest common multiple of 2 and 5 is going to be 10. What have I done to 2 to multiply it to get to 10? I've multiplied by 5, so I need to do the same in the top, 25 over 10. What have I done to 5 to get to 10? I've multiplied by 2, do the same in the top, 14. 25 over 10 minus 14 over 10, we can now combine to 25 minus 14 over 10. So what is 25 minus 14? Well, that is going to be 11 over 10. And if it is an improper fraction, always remember to change it to a mixed number. So how many times does 10 go into 11? 1 whole time. How much is left over? 1/10. And that's your final answer. Next example is a worded question with mixed numbers. Okay, and it reads as this. So after a party, I was left with 3 3/4 cold pizzas. The next morning, my friends and I ate 1 1/3 of them. Next day, cold pizza is the best. Just throwing it out there. The rest we threw out. So how many were thrown out? Okay, so we had 3 3/4. We then ate 1 1/3, therefore we have got rid of 1 1/3, therefore we are needing to subtract 1 1/3 from the original 3 3/4 to figure out the fraction that we had left to throw out. So this question is a subtraction. It is 3 3/4 subtract 1 1/3. So process is changing those to top heavy, then getting the denominators, getting the numerators, then collecting it all together. So again, I like to write the denominators keeping the same at the bottom when I'm doing the conversion. It's 4 times 3 is 12, plus another 3 is 15 quarters. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4 thirds. Lowest common multiple of 4 and 3 is going to be 12. 4 times 3 was 12, so I have to do 15 times 3, 45. 3 times 4 is 12, so I have to do 4 times 4, it's 16. Take this up here. 45 over 12 minus 16 over 12, well they're both now over 12, and it's 45 minus 16. So that's going to be 29. Okay, again we have an improper top-heavy fraction left, so change it back to mixed numbers. So how many times is 12 going to 29? 12, 24, 36 would be too many, so that's 2 whole times for 24, and that's 5 twelfths that's left over. So 2 and 5 twelfths of the pizzas were thrown out. Okay, so that's just a wee bit of practice of different kind of styles of questions, some worded questions that I want you to try in the exercise now. If you think this is a little bit beyond your where you are just now, then you're welcome to try just the yellow exercise or go back and watch the yellow video. But if you're feeling okay with this and you're ready to push yourself, then I want you to try the exercise, which has a mixture of basically all levels with adding and subtracting. There's same denominators, changing one denominator, changing two denominators, worded questions, then mixed numbers, then worded mixed questions. So I really want you to start where you feel you want to challenge yourself the most. So for some of you, that might be going straight to the mixed number addition and subtraction, and then doing the worded questions. Okay, don't go straight to the worded questions. Do some practice just with the numbers first, then go on to the worded questions. You do not have to do it. When you look at the exercise, you'll see what I mean. You do not have to do all the questions within each one section. Okay, you might want to just do maybe just the left-hand column of each section. Right, I don't want you to spend the whole time just doing one style of questions. Okay, so now you can go on and complete that exercise. If you need any help, I'll be here to help you.